Welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, June 14th, 2018. I'm Keith Tebow. On tonight's program, we provide local reaction to a city council vote this week not to scrap the pay-as-you-throw trash program. We get an update on this year's street sweeping program and also a look back at the Day of Portugal events held at the gates of the city last weekend. But first, let's check in with the news headlines of the week. We bring in Will Richmond, the digital news editor at the Herald News. Will, welcome.
Thanks, Keith. Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well. Again, number one on our plate, pay-as-you-throw, a program that has been much aligned over the years. Mayor Correa, in this year's upcoming fiscal 2019 budget, took out the revenue that would have provided for the sale of the purple bags. It also asked the City Council to scrap the ordinance. The Ordinance Committee last week met, and we mentioned it on this show, that they recommended a vote to leave to withdraw, which means that they would not rescind the program. And this week, the City Council voted 6-3 to follow that recommendation. So in effect, the pay-as-you-throw program is still in effect. What happens going forward?
Well, I think we'll probably start to see some of that clarify a little bit tonight when the City Council meets again to deliberate the budget. But it would seem at this time, from some of the comments yesterday, the day after the vote taken by the City Council, that the budget could be sent back to the mayor's office so that the $2 million in revenue from the pay-as-you-throw program can be put back into the budget proposal for fiscal year 2019. And whether that will mean that money is spent somewhere, if it's earmarked for something, may take another ordinance to kind of create a direct path if that's money that's gonna be specified for any sort of spending anywhere. Otherwise, for now, the $2 million would go back into the general account, and this mayor's office would have to account for how that money will be spent in the next fiscal year.
Now, I know that in the article by Michael Holtzman that was in the paper today, it references that the mayor is still firmly behind scrapping pay-as-you-throw. Is there anything that the mayor can do to sort of circumvent the ordinance in some way in terms of not providing the funding for the revenue to be collected? I guess, is there anything that the mayor can do to sort of go around the City Council not scrapping the ordinance?
Well, certainly, ordinances, while they provide guidance for how the city is run, there's also questions in how they're enforced. If I think back a couple of years ago to when the City Council enacted an ordinance that required people running for office to, they set up timeframes for when they could put out political signs. Well, the ordinance exists, but if you keep your sign up, it's up to the police to enforce that. I don't think police officers are going out and tracking down anyone who left their signs up for longer than necessary. So certainly, there's the potential exists that the mayor could just say, we're not going to sell the purple bags anymore. We're not going to enforce the program. If you buy the purple bags and use them, it's no different than buying any other brand of bags and using them, because we're not enforcing it. And we'll go from there, and the revenues will drop, as a result, and the city moves on. So it's kind of a matter of how the city budgets based on that revenue. If the mayor's and his financial team adjust the budget as such, and how seriously they sort of push forward with the program and the enforcement of it.
I know a few weeks back there was an article in the Herald News about potential ramifications of getting rid of the pay-as-you-throw program. It was touted by Mayor Will Flanagan to be a way to entice people in the city to recycle more, so they would have less trash, thus reducing the amount that the city does pay for trash removal. And I know in the article that was in the paper a few weeks ago, there's ramifications where if this were to end, it may actually increase the city's costs for trash disposal, in that some people may not be recycling as much.
Yeah, so, the state is a backer of the pay-as-you-throw program and has warned that this could increase in the tonnage amount of the amount of trash that is being picked up in Fall River and what it will cost to dispose of that. But on the flip side of that as well, and it was mentioned in that article, is that right now it's very costly. It's very costly to get rid of recycling at the moment. It actually costs more than it does to get rid of trash. So, could there be an offset, even if there's more trash and less recycling? Could that be to a bit to the benefit of the city?
Right.
So, certainly at this point, what the outstanding ramifications could be, I think, is something that will only come with the time of actually seeing how the budgets surrounding trash and recycling balance out and what the costs are down the road.
Very interesting. Again, City Council meeting tonight as a next step in its budget hearings. And again, they need to approve a budget over the next 2 weeks before July 1 when the fiscal year begins. All right, next, the fate of the Fall River Office of Economic Development. This is sort of another big story that broke today. The Board of Directors held a meeting today, and the Fall River Office of Economic Development is no longer. They are changing their name and changing their focus. Fill us in.
Yeah, so just this morning, the board of FROED voted to no longer be FROED, as you mentioned. They will now be the Bristol County Economic Development Consultants. Basically, they will continue to provide similar services to what they did in the past for businesses that are looking for assistance. But now at this point, it will no longer be a free service. It will be something that will come with a consultation fee for those businesses. And, they'll continue to offer low interest rate loans on the money based on the finances that they still have available. But since they are no longer receiving money from the city, they're going to attempt to expand their services out to businesses throughout the county and see if they can maintain their business structure doing that.
Now, the newly named Bristol County Economic Development Consultants still has a contract with the Fall River Redevelopment Authority to conduct some work, and that lasts, I believe, until August of next year, 2019. So at that point, they may have no other affiliation with the city, although it appeared that the Executive Vice President, Ken Fiola, had mentioned that he's willing to continue to work out some relationship with the city going forward, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been the mantra throughout this from Fiola. We'll see what happens. Certainly, the mayor has been pushing, a number of times to eliminate the connection between the redevelopment authority and what has been known as FROED. So we will have to kind of wait and see where that process goes. But yes, as you mentioned, at this point, they're going to continue to assist on things such as the urban redevelopment plan, the waterfront redevelopment plan, the properties in the biopark, and some similar projects the redevelopment authority oversees.
Now, how has the severing of the relationship in general between the city and FROED impacted FROED? I believe in the article, it looks like that they had to lay off some people at the agency. How has that worked out?
Well, the FROED has received about $300,000 through the Community Development Agency for Fall River. So with that money now gone, they have had to reduce staff. I think they might be down to 3 staff members now, including Ken Fiola. So, that's certainly been, but that also comes with a reduction of responsibility since they're no longer receiving the city money as well.
Right.
So they're a much smaller entity. They are, still obviously no longer located in Government Center, as they are now at the Cherry and Webb building on South Main Street in downtown. And it's, their main focus at this point has been those low interest loans for businesses that need them. But essentially any other questions they get, they refer to the city for them to handle.
Right. So again, big news with economic development issues here in Fall River, with FROED changing its name and changing its duties. Finally, the fate of Riverview Towers. We've talked about this in the past. There have been efforts to sell the property, and those who currently live at Riverview Towers have been concerned that many of them who are receiving assistance to live there, they're concerned about their future. Well, there's news today that a new bidder has come forward to purchase Riverview Towers, and according to Kevin O'Connor's piece today, Will, he's interested in the status quo, making sure the people can afford to stay there, and even moving in himself, correct?
Yeah, he's certainly expressed an interest in moving there himself. A $16 million bid for the property, which is double what Weston Associates, who has the current contract with the state for the property, had offered previously. In addition to that, that $8 million bid, they were also looking for money from the state and the city as well, and some movement with the Section 8 vouchers for that property. So, this certainly is a very large bid. We have to wait until early July to find out if the state will accept it. Because Weston has the sort of right of first bid at this point. So we'll see what happens with that. But it certainly seems good news for those tenants who wanted to stay there and not see much change. That would seem to be the case if this bid is accepted down the road.
The developer's name is Ed, and I hope I pronounced this right, Ed Joki, and he's looking to, again, move into the site, and he even wanted to, at the end of the article, I don't know if this was tongue-in-cheek or really something serious, that he wants to rename it to Joki Tower instead of Riverview Towers. So anyway, so movement on that aspect as well. All right, Will, what's coming up over the next few days?
Yeah, this weekend, we are kicking off about a month-long project that we've been working on, looking at race and diversity in Fall River. We've noticed especially that in the school district, the number or the percentage and number of Hispanic students has increased rapidly over the last couple of years. Meanwhile, the education staff inside has gone virtually unchanged. So that kind of got us thinking about where the city stands and where it's looking in the future. We'll take a look at everything from the school department to the police department to the lack of leaders in Fall River of minority leaders, and kind of where the city can go from here.
All right, sounds good. We'll talk next week. Take care.
All right, have a good weekend, Keith.
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
We want you to hear it first.
A street sweeper is coming to your neighborhood. The Department of Community Maintenance, in cooperation with the Mayor's Office, as well as the Committee on Public Works, are collaborating to improve the cleanliness and overall appearance of our city streets. This restructured program runs through the summer. No parking times involve only a few hours and are similar to a parking ban during a snowstorm. This will enable the sweeper to reach both sides of the curb. Residents will have 1 day's notice to prepare, so be on the lookout for temporary signage. For more information, call John Perry at the Department of Community Maintenance at 508-324-2760 or contact Laura Ferreira at the Traffic Department at 508-324-2577. To see a list of the scheduled streets, visit the city's website at www.fallriverma.org.
You've heard it.
Now please help us keep our city clean. Thank you.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Fall River Career Center. Hospice Case Manager RN, Amedisys Holding, located at 182 North Main Street, is looking for a full-time Hospice Case Manager RN to provide, coordinate, and direct the provision of hospice nursing and palliative care to terminally ill patients in their home. Job number 10658980. Cook, Almax Diner, located at 135 President Avenue, seeks a full-time cook with sauté experience and cooking on a flat top. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner shifts available. Job number 10659059. Procurement Operations Analyst. Amazon, located at 1180 Innovation Way, is in need of a full-time procurement operations analyst responsible for forecasting, inventory management, purchase order creation, management, and monitoring. Job number 10635006. Bank 5, located at 79 North Main Street, is looking to fulfill the following full-time positions. Commercial Relationship Manager. Job number 10658820. Portfolio Manager. Job number 10658812. Pizza Hut, located at 1648 South Main Street, is looking to fulfill the following full-time positions. General Manager, job number 10655017. Delivery Driver, job number 10655015. For more information on these or other positions, visit jobquest.detma.org or call the Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. As we mentioned during our segment with Will Richmond, the Fall River City Council voted 6-3 this week not to approve a request by Mayor Jaso Correa to abolish the pay-as-you-throw trash removal program. The mayor had made a campaign promise to get rid of the purple trash bags and has requested that the City Council approve that proposal as part of his proposed fiscal year 2019 budget. Flint Neighborhood Association President Carlos Caesar reacts to the recent council move.
The worst part in all of this, we don't know if we're going to keep it, if we're going to let it go. The worst part is that we're going to lose the recycling, because it was proved from other communities that got away with and ending the trash bags was they went back and not recycling. And I think that since we are already some people are already doing recycling and learning, and they are recycling, I think will be a bad idea to end it now. Let's resolve this once and for all. Let's put it on the question on the ballot. Let people vote it. If the majority votes yes, we don't even have to talk about no more. Left to just make sure everybody's following the law. If people in Fall River says no, vote no, then we have to come up with another solution for our trash. Either way, we need to pay for it.
A regimented street sweeping program is now firmly underway here in Fall River, and residents have been notified on which side of the street to park on during the days their neighborhoods are being cleaned. The Department of Community Maintenance explains that so far, fines have not been issued to any violators.
And it's been moving along quite nicely. Eventually, the stanchions will go by the wayside and we'll have permanent signage up, so it'll become second nature and just part of everyday life for the people in those inner neighborhoods.
Now, are the people adhering to the rules?
You know, just like anything else, change is difficult. We have had some situations where they haven't honored the parking stanchions, but we're issuing warnings for the first time, and if we go back in to do it again, you know, repeat the sweeping in that area, we'll ticket the cars that don't move.
Now, is this the first time that the city has actually launched a program like this?
No, we've always done street sweeping traditionally, but this is the first, I'd say, organized, posted with public notification so that everybody knows, you know, we're trying to get into those inner neighborhoods. Years ago, we used to do it with the feast season, you know, because we would have to get into those areas for the processions. They're not always on the main streets. They travel down side streets as well. So that was always a plus for us to be able to get into the inner neighborhoods. But again, with the parking, the sweeping program takes it a step further, where we're actually putting out no parking signs so that we can get the cars out of the way and get every inch of the street that we can.
Now, is this part of your budget, overall budget?
Well, the street sweeping is part of our overall budget, so they're out running every day. Just how we're dictating where that manpower is used is a change in from past practice.
Fall River Recreation will start its summer kickoff celebration this weekend. Here's more.
Well, Recreation has its annual kickoff to summer. It's been going on for almost over 30 years, and it's at Ruggles Park from 11 to 2, and we have many fun, free activities for the kids and many resources for families. We have many agencies that will be offering information about what they're doing during the summer, as well as it's a great time for us to kick off our Summer Lunch in the Park program. We hand out information about the many, many different locations that we serve free lunches at and have free activities as well. And it's just a great day. It's a community event. We have the fire department, fire prevention smokehouse. Home Depot will do a build workshop. We have airbrush tattoos, face painting, arts and crafts, games, bounce houses. You name it. It's just a great and great fun day.
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Hi, it's Today on Hot Dogs and Cool Cats, we have Sally. Sally is a very playful, as you can see, 7-month-old pit bull. She is very good with other dogs, being a puppy, good with kids. She does need some basic training though, as you can tell. She gets a little bit rambunctious, still mouths because she's a puppy, but she is a delight. Especially once you've gotten her out, she's very active. You can go running with her, walking with her, throwing a ball around, that sort of thing. And then she's nice and mellow, and you guys can cuddle at home, right? Just like that. So, you want to meet Sally? Come on down to 300 Linwood Street here in Fall River, Massachusetts. It's Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
Hi, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats, but we got no hot dogs or cool cats. Here we have two ferrets that came from the same house, which you meet Penelope and Hugo. They're 4 years old. Ferrets are not for the faint of heart. They're really smelly and very curious, and let's look at their curious nature. We around here like to call them furry snakes because they're very, very difficult to hold, very independent thinking. They want to do their own thing. They love to explore and figure things out. So if you want to come down and meet them, we're here at Forever Paws, and we'd love to have you come and visit with them.
Next year, the City of Fall River will be negotiating a new contract with Comcast to provide cable service to subscribers. Public input is essential to a successful contract renewal. To collect this input and to better position the city to meet its communications needs for the next 10 years, FRCmedia has commissioned a community needs assessment. We need your help. We're asking residents to take part in an online survey to get your reaction to the service Comcast provides in the city and how we can better utilize our community television channels, FRCmedia, Fred TV, and FRG TV. For more information and to take the survey, visit frmedia.org/survey. Those who participate will be eligible to win one of 2 $100 Amazon gift cards. Help us shape the local communications landscape in Fall River. Take our online cable TV survey at frmedia.org/survey. Welcome back. A celebration to honor Fall River's Portuguese heritage was held in Fall River over the weekend. Here's a look back.
The Day of Portugal event in Fall River lasted 3 days, and it was a huge success. The Day of Portugal was held at the gates of Fall River this weekend, with thousands of people turning out to celebrate Portuguese tradition, some to introduce their children to their heritage. The Our Lady of Light Philharmonic Band played a variety of tunes, including overtures from The Lion King and Frank Sinatra's New York, New York. Among the fun was an airbrush tattoo artist who drew washable tattoos on children's arms and faces. Meanwhile, balloon artist Tony Baloney crafted elongated hats, swords, and animal figures for the youth who attended, and both artists had long lines waiting for their service each day. In addition to delicious Portuguese food that included chouriço and linguiça, wine and beer, there were pony rides and horse rides being given to youngsters, and for everyone's pleasure, a good-sized tortoise was on hand for viewing pleasure. The festivities started late Thursday and ended on Sunday, with the weather cooperating the entire time. For FRCmedia News, I'm Donna Mata.
That'll do it for this edition of FRCmedia News. You can catch FRCmedia News Thursdays and Fridays at 6 p.m. and online at our website, frcmedianews.org. For all of us here at FRCmedia News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great week, and we'll see you again next Thursday.